Alright, it's a Linneo off work early. Gonna go to a bar. Never been there before. I'm gonna tell you all about it. Alright. And of course it reminds me of what seemed to be a female in a pair of shiny pants. Possibly the same one and her friend that delivered me DoorDash the other night. Because she said, "We've never been here before." And it was at a Target in St. Joe after I'd lied to where I was going that weekend. Went to St. Joe. Oh, and I just set a location. Messed up. They do DoorDash all weekend. Where they have a mental health museum that I went to and read about all the shock treatments and cold water treatments and all the other treatments. They used to do isolation. Wooden boxes, I think, was one of them, if I remember correctly. They just seem cruel. So I guess I should be in a wooden box. Anyway. Well, they let me off early. That happens sometimes. It didn't happen all last week. Which made me want to check my payment, which I didn't look at last week. Because they screwed something up and had to redo my stuff. So I may not have even got paid. I didn't even look. But that full paycheck won't be on until this week. So not until 2 days from now. So we're going to a place that is across the street from a place that's in my head all the time. They're both bars. One of them's just bigger. And I gotta get there before 9 because that's when the kitchen closes if I want to get food. But I shouldn't be going at all because I can't afford it. But I'm going anyway because it's next door, well, 2 doors down from the hair place from the girl that got a restraining order on me because I wrote her a note. Tried to tell her what was inside my noggin and she didn't like it. No one else has either, can't really blame her. But I was scared of her. So maybe she'll be there. Because they told me she worked on Mondays when I went to her place of employment to try and apologize. She didn't care. Anyway, she was wildly attractive. In a comment I made about her memories might be one of the reasons all those guys started to look at me differently. I was living in an apartment complex and there were little courtyards in the middle of each of the groupings of apartment buildings. And one day, a girl across from me, catty corner, was topless in her living room. which was spectacular, as incredible body. But I compared her toplessness to the first girlfriend whose boobs I ever saw. Because that's what they looked like when they were tanner. So, and then somebody made a comment comparing to 18-year-old boobs. Well, those boobs aren't 18 anymore. My memory of them is, actually she was 16, maybe 15. I don't remember. I think it was my junior year of high school. And she was 1 year younger, so she could have been 15. That is entirely possible. Anyway. I've also got another memory about a disappearing person when I guess he wasn't interested. Yeah, I guess I wasn't interested in having sex with you. To that girl that I was distant from until she gave me a note. It took 3 days. Nope, 2 days. Just one weekend. So, this place that I'm going, the reason it reminds me of a Target in another city is because when I went there, after I lied and said I was going somewhere else, but went there to do DoorDash and sleep in the car, which is what I've done a million times before. Had done. Anyway. I went into a Target to get an order from DoorDash to shop for somebody. And standing right in front of me, walking down the aisle, was two women. One was in really shiny pants. So that reminded me of Kaylee. Who's Kaylee, you say? A character on a show called Firefly. And of course there was a million fireflies out. Well, not a million. There was 20 or 30 fireflies out last night, spread across our backyard. And it reminds me of that because my psychosis was such that I thought I was Simon. And I thought I was Mal. And I thought I was, the heck's that other guy's name? Jane. Jane's the other guy's name. But I'm not. But Kaylee always said shiny. So those shiny pants that I was looking at reminded me of that. And they said, we've never been here before that day. So that stuck. Probably because of the shiny pants. I don't really know. But later, when I went to get at that Target, when I found what I was looking for, there were 2 pairs of sunglasses. And I wasn't looking for sunglasses. I was looking for diapers. And they were sitting on the counter next to those diapers. So that was clearly on purpose, and the shiny pants girl knew my future, which is one of the reasons I don't like it here. But at the same time, at times it was really nice. But I don't know. This weekend I told a girl we're not a match. That is a first. I have texted multiple DoorDash drivers. Not that many though, 5, maybe 10. I don't know how many. To give me their number. One I asked to marry me, and that prompted a sexual harassment response, which was awesome. Anyway, one of them sent me her number. And I didn't think she would. They never respond except that sexual harassment thing. And I don't know which way to go, so I'm going to go this way. So it was a couple weeks before I even saw that number was there. And probably a couple more, or maybe at least another week. For me to say something, to have the balls for it. I thought she was cute and somewhere close to my age, but I must have been drunk already. She brought me alcohol and chewing tobacco, and I must have been drunk because she looked 10 years older than me. Anyway, that's probably an age-appropriate person and someone who I should focus my attention on, which I did. We talked to each other. It was pleasant, kind of nice. I actually laughed. It was lovely. And then I tried to push her away. Told her all my red flags, ending with something I've never told another person, except I said it on these videos the other day. So the question becomes, did I tell her because I had said it here and it lifted a weight, or not? I don't really know. Anyway, well, I said the thing. I inappropriately touched 3 relatives and fell in love with one of them. Never told anybody. Oh, man. And then she said a bunch of stuff, which was supportive. But one thing she said was, "Does your 10-year-old nephew know this about you?" And the response, I didn't say it, but, well, actually I said part of it. I don't think so. I doubt it. I told you we don't talk about sex as a family. I mean, it wasn't sex, it was other things, but it's in the same category. Anyway, and it ain't my place to tell them. Not even close. I don't even know why they homeschool him. Why are they gonna discuss something like that with me, how would I know? Am I supposed to tell him unilaterally? Absolutely not. What happened to me can't even happen to him. He doesn't have any relatives in the same house with him, or female cousins that I know of. I assume he has some, but actually I think my brother-in-law's brother has like 5 kids, so there's gotta be some ladies in there, but they don't hang out much that I know of, so I doubt it could happen. Luckily, they didn't have another kid. Okay, let's see. Let's go this way. Yes. I don't really know. Some giant hills over here. Whew. So I used that and some other things. Or not believing in anything supernatural at all. Doesn't exist. Those are my 2 things, which that's being a pussy. And a hypocrite, and non-committal, non-adventurous, and a million other things. And I'm doing the same thing that I always do. Not telling someone where I'm going. And going to be creepy. That's pretty much what it is. Anyway. It's like a park. And now I'm feeling bad about it. And I don't really feel that bad because I'm a shallow jerk. She's a decade older than me, and I want someone that's 2 decades younger. Shallow jerk, right? Ridiculous. Ridiculous jerk. Plus she's got a kid. Oh, I also used that. She's got a kid and didn't make it work with the first husband. Plus she said that he loved money too much, and I'm going through money right now. That's what I do. I don't know where I'm going. Ah, farts. There's no way that's the right way. Yeah, okay. I do. It's the right way to have. And I'm not gonna make it by 9. So what's the point of going anyway? Yeah, this isn't where I thought it was. I went the wrong way. I think. Maybe remembering wrong about this road. I don't know. Hey. We'll go this way, but they're all... That's not candy. Another hill. They're everywhere. And they're everywhere. Westwards. I'm doing westwards. I'm gonna go this way. It's not up that hill. I should probably go up that hill. I don't know. Still figuring out the angle on this camera. It's always turning it sideways. Although that makes sense, it is sideways, but it's straight up when I'm doing watching it. It's weird. I don't know why that is. I don't know. I actually had a good day today. I negated some psychosis by actually talking, which I think is good, but it seems to me the tornado that was here was on purpose. Oh hey, look at that, there we are. Wait. I made it pretty close. Okay, what was I saying? The tornado that happened here over the weekend, the two tornadoes pulled a tree out of the ground and smashed a car with it. And I don't think I'll be close to it because it's back further in the trees. But it was over, well, at least I was told it was over by where my AA place was that I haven't gone back to, and it's been 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. And that's probably why he said 2 weeks earlier today. And now I'm seeing that as a judgment. That means he was a shapeshifter that was at AA, right? I don't know. I listened to one of my videos that I've done. I've got like 20 of them now. Or 15, I don't know how many. And one of them takes a bad turn real fast. It's quite sad. Seem uppity and, well, not uppity in a bad way, but chipper. How about that? That's a better word. And then it just tanks. And I go take a turn to Evil Town. That I'm evil and they're fighting evil anytime they do something bad to me, and which probably isn't even them doing anything bad, it's just me. But we're almost there. I made it. probably an AA meeting right now. Actually, it would have started at 8. And I think there's one at 9:30 every day. So that's where I should be going. But I'm not. Going to a bar. Not resisting. Actually, I see Cece's over there and I don't want to go there. I'm not really that hungry, but I ain't been there in a while. In a minute. It's the stupidest. A minute. It's so dumb. Slang is so dumb. Hey, that's where I got that car fixed when it broke. But that's not where they drained my, yeah, that is where they drained my fluids. They fixed one thing and messed up another. Yeah, there you go. God just called me an asshole. GN8 UA on a license plate with the guy smoking. God, Nate. Nate equals the devil. In case you were wondering. That'd be I'm God. Nate, you asshole. That's what it is. And CC's reminds me of a guy eating behind me. And this parking lot reminds me of taking a nap and then somebody waking up right there. So much crap. So much crap. And this is probably illegal. Let's see, money. Or none of that stuff that I said was true. And if I made a bad choice, I made a bad choice. I've never been here before. And they might not even let me in. Because I've got a thing. A backpack. I don't know. We're going to find out. Oh. And off work early. Off work early to a bar instead of AA. Part 1 done. And I'm running out of space on my phone, so there might not be a ride home. Okay, bye-bye.